Hi, sweeties. How are you doing? Welcome to Naya Sim, and thank you all so much for all the love and support. Hope you all are doing great. So, first of all, I am going to say that this video, I found that this video was done last year, right? But I am seeing it for the first time. And this video actually came probably after Jim Crow law was also reinstated in Mississippi. And this young lady actually came out to tell us about Jim Crow law, which is associated with the Bible and the curses put upon Black people, right? And this video really made a whole lot of sense. And she actually broke everything down, telling us about the Israelites, who the real Israelites, the Jews are, right? And the fact that a lot of them are still hiding this from Black people. Not that like they are hiding it, because Black people already knew, and they knew they are the real Israelites, for sure. So them trying to also cover it up, because if they are not trying to cover it up, why is it that some certain things all of a sudden started leaking about the votes that actually got opened up, that made everybody not just some people were doubting, right? That made everybody understand that the real Jesus is a Black man, right? And if they were not hiding it, because they already understood who the real Israelite, who the real Jews are. So for that reason, they are really scared. Like, how are we supposed to lose everything and all that? And if you all remember that the Hollywood, you know how they show us Jesus is palm colored and the let's just get into this video.
My God. So as y'all know, Mississippi just passed the Jim Crow law. You know, just history repeating itself. But there's something that y'all don't know. And I need all my people to listen. We gotta wake up. Because it's that time. See, because what y'all don't know is the Jim Crow law is actually associated with the Bible and the curses that was put upon his people. So I want to answer this woman's question.
I'm so fucking scared. It has just come to my attention because I didn't know about it just until today. In Mississippi, there was just a law passed like 5 days ago that the Jim Crow laws are being reinstated. That shouldn't be happening at all. And I know you may be wondering, this is like not my normal content on here, but I'm sorry, and I just have to make this known because what the fuck? What the actual fuck? Why? I really don't understand why people do not like me. Do not like us. Because of my color of skin. I don't understand. I really don't fucking understand. What the fuck did I do?
You didn't do nothing. But our ancestors did. The Jim Crow is resurrected in Mississippi. Did wokeness do this? As a matter of fact, it did. Now, some of us who have learned the truth are not surprised by this. It may alarm the sleepwalkers. The Most High have already told us that they will have hatred towards us. All you gotta do is read the word and the curses put upon his people. See, their problem is they finally starting to realize that their wicked rulership is almost up. But I ain't gonna lie, we finna go through some battles. And it's gonna get worse before we leave. We warned our people that are sleepwalking that these nations hate us. And it has nothing to do with skin color. It's because of who we are. The tribe of Judah. The real Jews. It was prophesied that we would be hated throughout the four corners of the earth. What y'all need to find out and learn is that the Bible is our history book. Not a Christian book. Our ancestors were not Christians. They was Israelites. It's time for y'all to learn the truth. And this has nothing to do with religion or tradition. My motto will forever be relationship over religion, truth over tradition. It's that time. It's time for y'all to learn who y'all are. And it's time for y'all to gain a relationship with the Father through his word, not a religion. Now we gonna start off with, who is this? Who is this? Because the show ain't Yahshua. Because if the Bible's saying that his hair is white like wool, and I mean white like wool, just like this, where did the brown hair even come from? If it said his skin color was the color of fine brass burnt in a furnace, and I mean burnt in a furnace. This is an actual picture right here of someone burning fine brass. Then where did y'all get white from? Or even the olive skin color y'all keep claiming. Y'all just don't want him to be black so bad. Y'all just make up any lie. And he was born in Israel, which is Northeast Africa. Y'all stop saying Middle East. It was not called the Middle East back then. It was a part of Africa. So you mean to tell me when they had to hide Jesus, Yeshua, in an all-black place in Africa to blend in with the people, you saying that they hid a white man or an olive skin color man in a place full of black people? It's impossible. Which is common sense that he had to be black to blend in with black people. Now I'm finna tell you why his skin color got something to do with the Jim Crow law and them trying to bring back hanging and lynching. Now, in the Bible, Pilate's wife had a dream about the Messiah. When she seen that the people was trying to kill him, she pulled her husband aside and said, "Have nothing to do with this righteous man." She said, "I suffered much suffering in a dream today. Have nothing to do with his killing." So Pilate turned to the people and said, "I don't see nothing wrong that this man is doing for me to kill him." Pilate was talking to the Hebrews, our people. He said, "If y'all decide to kill this man, the blood will not be on my hands. It will be on y'all's." So then the Jews, aka Hebrew Israelites, mistakenly said, "It's okay. Put it on our hands, our children's hands, for generations and generations. Crucify him." So then it was so. So from then on, we was cursed to die the same way he died. Now they like to tell y'all that he died on a cross, but that is far from the truth. The cross is one of the main graven images that he talks about in the Bible. The word cross was never even in the Bible to begin with. It was added in there from a pagan god they called Tammuz. The cross is a symbol of the first letter of his name, a T. Now, if you look at the history during those times, you would know that if you were worthy of death, you had to be hung. It was the law. Acts 5:30 even told you that he died from hanging from a tree. There was a divine curse placed on a hanged person. And if a man has committed a crime punishable by death, and he is put to death, you hang him on a tree. For a hanged man is cursed by God. And when they had carried out all that was written of him, they took him down from the tree and laid him in his tomb. The same way they do us till this day. For what our ancestors have committed, it allowed us to be punished the same way he was punished. I'ma show y'all the curses that was put upon us. Slavery and captivity. Having no power to stand against our enemies. Being sent back to Egypt again by ships. Exiled in the land of our enemies. Scattered among all nations. A very sick and disease-stricken people. At the bottom socially with other races high above us. Lost the true knowledge of who we were and will be called by many scornful nicknames other than Israel and Hebrew, which is still happening to this day. Packed into prisons and jails. A non-properous people. We even hate each other and oppress people by our enemies. The world will not tell you who or where the Israelites are today, but the scriptures will. There's nothing new underneath the sun. There is nothing new. Our sons and daughters will be given to another nation while your eyes grow weary looking for them day after day with no power in your hand. With no power in your hand. With none at all. The cross story couldn't be real if they wanted it to. How did they nail his feet and hands to a cross when it says that he protected all his bones? Not one of them is broken. There would be no way to hammer a huge nail into someone's foot to hang without breaking a bone. There's no way. This is the real reason why no bones shall be broken. The sad reality is, if we continue to disobey, we'll continue to pay. So please, it's time for us to wake up. Stop letting them brainwash you and make you forget who you are. Stop letting them make us feel like we are nobody, because they know who we are. Our people back then just didn't know how to read and write. So they didn't know that the Bible back then was made for them. They felt like it was a horrible, horrible book. But they didn't realize the truth was inside of it. But now it's our time to make up for it. That the truth of who we are is inside of it. Our time is coming, and they know it. The Bible is our true history book. The problem is we let everybody get into our head. Why do you think there is thousands and thousands of religions, but only one true God? All trying to praise the same person, but giving them different names. That's because you were supposed to gain a relationship with the Father through the Word, not a religion. And that's where we as a people fall at.
Man, this is all I got from this video. And before we get into this video, I am going to say that, before we get into I am going to say that this sister is really very beautiful. She is very beautiful, natural beauty. And I love this video so much because when it comes to some certain things, I am still learning, trying to navigate. I am also learning through your comments and also making research and the rest of it. I am a work in progress, but I am no longer where I used to be, So the progress is really I love how it's happening. And then I am going to say that the truth is that this Bible that we talk about, I really found out not long ago. I am going to be truthful. I found out not so much long ago that the Bible is about Black people. It's Black people's history. This is, if you take your time to go through it, if you take your time, Bible is not something you it's you read straight up and all that. You just read to assimilate, understand, and the rest of it. So for those that are still going through it and those that are still trying to navigate through it, for the ones that I have seen so far, it's about our history. Then I am going to ask this. How did these people convince us? Or how did they lie so much about who Jesus is? Because this is something that I've been trying to wrap my head around, how they have been lying to this very moment. And like I said in one of the videos I made about coming out to say that, yes, when he opened the vault, right, saying that Jesus is Black. And I was like, why did it take him so much time to speak on it or to speak the truth, right? And also another imam, I think Muslim clergy, also came out to say that he is correct. Then, when knowing that a lot of people really knew about this, and I am asking, what is it that the Vatican are hiding from us? Because I remember that even from the Nollywood to this from Nollywood, sorry to say Nollywood, I say Hollywood, right? Hollywood, you all remember all that has been put to tell us how the Jesus is palm colored and the rest of it. You all know that. And to this very moment, they are still promoting it and they refuse to, because I see some of them really being mad that putting open up that vote, right? And so we're not having it. Somewhere saying, so what is this going to do for us, or what is it going to do for Black people and the rest of it? I love the fact that the truth is coming out, because to this very moment, you all remember that if you know what is associated with Black people is associated with anything that got to do with darkness, right? That's why they hid that from us. And then I want to correct something. When somebody said that during slavery, I understand that during slavery, they said our ancestors couldn't read. Most of them could read, just that they could read in their own languages, right? English was not their language, right? So they were able to confuse some of them because they were given a book different from their own language. So if somebody tells me that because the people, you remember that the people that were taken out from Africa, right, were from different places, and some of them were doctors, some of them were nurses, some of them were lawyers, different, like, different people, high grade, kings, queens, and all that. They did not go for every other person. They knew the traditionalists and the rest of them. So they knew the people they went for, right? So they could read, but they couldn't read their own book because it was not their language, right? So that was where the whole problem started, because you all remember how they took them and decided to turn the book upside down to teach them a particular part from the book and exclude some for them. Not until eventually some of them started, man, really, I am not going to lie to you. I mean, some people's judgment is really going to be brutal because the lies has really been really massive. And then when you look at the book, the history, Black people history book, that is what I call the Bible, right? You find that who the Israelite, the Hebrew Israelites are. I did not know this today. I have known this long ago because I am from Nigeria and I am from the Igbo tribe, right? And I see a lot of people saying that we are the real Israelites. It did not start today. When my dad was alive, he told me that, right? He mentioned that. And I was like, how am I? This was what I said. How come I am a Nigerian, not just being a Nigerian, Igbo for that matter, and somebody is telling me that you are Israelite? I was like, the math, I ain't mathing. That was what I said, and I waved it off, right? But the whole thing is making a lot of sense since I started talking about history, since I started digging deep about African American history. It made a lot of sense. Number one is that a lot of people are still in the past, are still in the past. Like, it is very hard to convince some certain people about that book they call Bible. Some of them, it is very hard for them to understand. That's why some of them were shallow-minded when this fight with Israel, what is going on between Israel and Palestine and all that. A lot of people found it so hard to rebuke what Israel were doing to Palestine, because they believe that it's a God of Israel, right? If you remember, there's a God of Israel, right? So they were like, I don't care what you all are saying, but I am going to tell you, I am still going to stick with Israel because God is a God of Israel and the rest of it. Not knowing all this, you can imagine when something is totally mountains, right? So a lot of people really have a lot of deconstruction to do, not just on learning, relearning, and all that, and also trying to get, because some people were like, okay, now some people do not want to do anything, have anything to do with their ancestral lineage and all that, because they say it is demonic, right? But then when you talk about God, or when you talk about the Bible, that and all that, and they tell you only have to talk about the Bible and God is there. But then when you look back, everything that got to do with God is also connected to your ancestors. That is something people are finding hard to understand. But then I hope that a lot of people are going to be open-minded in learning this, because some people are finding it hard to decolonize their mindset, because the one is starting from decolonizing your mindset, ready to understand, not just from what you are being told, because some of them are just running with what they were told without even understanding the book or without even making their research and the rest of it. So I really do appreciate this beautiful sister. Is so beautiful. I mean, her skin is popping, everything is just, her, and I learned a whole lot from her. So a very big shout out to her, and I am going to drop her handle so you can follow up. And if I forget to drop her handle, please kindly remind me so I can put that link up straight up so we all can go support her. I love to see sweet people. I love to see smart people, intelligent people. So see you all in my next video. Bye for now.